Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing great. My daughter is homesick today, so I'm recording this with her just running around everywhere. So I apologize in advance if she, pops up or squawks or something. This week we are talking about issues surrounding LGBTQ, and so this is the PowerPoint for this week. I did not create the PowerPoint. This was created by Lauren Ferris, and so she has given us permission to use this within our Social Work 3333 courses. So when we talk about identity, obviously there's, it's like a giant iceberg. There's the things that we can see, like age, gender, race, color, and ability. And then there's all of these other things that go along with our identities that play a role in how we identify. There's lots of different terminology. So there's sex, gender, gender identity, gender expression, transgender, cisgender, sexual orientation, and queer. Hopefully some of these we will be going over today so that you can understand a little bit more. There is this thing called the gender unicorn. I've also seen the genderbread person as well that's been used to kind of help individuals visualize more about what's going on. So when we look at this gender unicorn, we'll start with gender identity. So this is how someone mentally identifies. And so they may identify more as a female or more as a male mentally. Then you have gender expression, and so this is how individuals express themselves. Maybe they have more feminine or more masculine expressions, and how they express themselves. There is the sex that they were assigned at birth, and so there's female, male, other, or intersex. And then you have things like who people are physically attracted to, and then who someone is emotionally attracted to. And so again, all of these things may vary and have different, they vary on the continuum or different ranges. And so this is what is really hard for individuals to understand a lot of times, is someone can really be female at birth and identify with female traits, but express themselves very masculinely, or are physically attracted to females or males, right? And so there's different ways that individuals can express themselves and have different gender identities. So when we talk about violence and gender diversity, approximately 1% of the population is trans or experiences different types of violence based on their gender diversity. 41% have attempted suicide as compared to 4.6% of the general population. So that is a huge discrepancy, a huge statistic to really keep in mind. 34% of Latino, Latina, and 53% of Black people have participated in street economy. 72% of hate, violence, homicides are transgender women. So again, these are all different statistics to kind of keep in mind as we read and watch videos and talk more about this week. 40% of homeless youth identify as LGBT, and 58.7% of those who identify as LGBT have been sexually victimized. So then we also have things like pronoun etiquette, right? And so we are moving more and more in a society towards normalizing different pronouns. So can you tell me which pronouns that you prefer to use? Do you prefer she, her, hers, or do you prefer to use he or his, or a non-gender specific pronoun? You're seeing more and more, let me show you kind of in an email, emails, you see a lot of times individuals put their pronouns in their signature line, right? So right here you can see different pronouns, and I know other, particularly social work faculty member who do that, who do that as well. And so you really want to make every effort to get it right, and just make sure that you're not excluding anyone for any reason. And so when we talk about gender bias, we're talking about explicit versus implicit bias. Explicit is you are purposefully going out of your way to be biased against someone, intentionally biased, versus implicit is more unconsciously biased. And you know, in addition to just general bias, we have that goes along with unequal gender distribution of men and women in certain roles, right? And so this creates implicit association. So typically we see males work and females stay at home with family. We have males work in science and females work in the arts, right? And so these are different biases that are perpetuated in our society, because a lot of times individuals have these implicit biases towards males and female roles, and what roles they play in society. So anyways, I just wanted to pop on and talk to you guys a little bit about that. Also, I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. I think I've got one person this week, but then most of them are next week, talking about your oral journal number 2. And so again, it's going to be just a quick 15-20 minute call with me, talking about your placement and making sure everything's going well with you there. So make sure to look at the questions to prepare for that call. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys all then. Please make sure to schedule an appointment with me as soon as possible if you haven't already. Okay? Thank y'all so much. I hope you have a great week.